In the midst of it all, a government tax, a burdened journey, a burgeoned town, no room in the midst of it all. In the midst of it all, each single life here and now walks the hard pavement of ordinary life, wading through the sinking mud or flash flood of waking tasks, worried wrecks of anxious unknowns. But somewhere in this night, the desert night of long ago, or this daily desert of a road, a twinkling here, a shining there, a flower blooms in deepest winter. Love has come and calms the shiver. A warming kiss, a soft embrace, a lighted window, a stable place. In the midst of it all, a hard-won labor, grace is born in fleshly groans. The baby cries his birthday song as angels weep and sweep the heaven to earthbound glory. And love has come to each and every one of us, whether our eyes are open and we perceive, or closed in lonely fear. We will receive this love come to us, whether open-hearted in abundant waves or in unsuspected and surprising ways. Love has come. Love has come. Arise and shine with the sun. Love has come in newborn grace to offer truth and God a face.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven joy to the world. We will sing, sing, sing. Joy to the world, the Savior reigns. Let all their songs employ, while fields and floods, rocks, hills, and plains, repeat the sound, repeat the sound, repeat the sound, repeat the sound, repeat the sounding joy. We will sing, sing, sing. Joy to the world. We will sing, sing, sing. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his right.
from Isaiah, chapter 52, verses 7 through 10. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him who brings good news, who publishes peace, who brings good news of happiness, who publishes salvation, who says to Zion, your God reigns. The voice of your watchmen, they lift up their voice. Together they sing for joy, for eye to eye they see the return of the Lord to Zion. Break forth together into singing, you waste places of Jerusalem, for the Lord has comforted his people. He has redeemed Jerusalem. The Lord has bared his holy arm before the eyes of all the nations, and all the ends of the earth shall see the salvation of our God.
I am reading Psalm number 98. Oh, sing to the Lord a new song, for he has done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm have worked salvation for him. The Lord has made known his salvation. He has revealed his righteousness in the sight of the nations. He has remembered his steadfast love and faithfulness to the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Make a joyful noise to the Lord, all the earth. Break forth into joyous song and sing praises. Sing praises to the Lord with the lyre and the sound of melody. With trumpets and the sound of the horn, make a joyful noise before the King, the Lord. Let the sea roar and all that fills it, the world and those who dwell in it. Let the rivers clap their hands. Let the hills sing for joy together before the Lord, for he comes to judge the earth. He will judge the world with righteousness and the peoples with equity.
Long ago, at many times and in many ways, God spoke to our fathers by the prophets. But in these last days, he has spoken to us by his Son, whom he appointed, the heir of all things, through whom also he created the world. He is the radiance of the glory of God and the exact imprint of his nature, and he upholds the universe by the word of his power. After making purification for sins, he sat down at the right hand of the Majesty on high, having become as much superior to angels as the name he has inherited is more excellent than theirs. For to which of the angels did God ever say, "You are my son, today I have begotten you"? Or again, "I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son"? And again, when he brings the firstborn into the world, he says, "Let all God's angels worship him." Of the angels, he says, he makes his angels winds and his ministers a flame of fire. But of the Son, he says, "Your throne, O God, is forever and ever. The scepter of uprightness is the scepter of your kingdom. You have loved righteousness and hated wickedness. Therefore God, your God, has anointed you with the oil of gladness beyond your companions. And you, Lord, laid the foundation of the earth in the beginning, and the heavens are the work of your hands. They will perish, but you remain. They will all wear out like a garment. Like a robe, you will roll them up. Like a garment, they will be changed. But you are the same, and your years will have no end."
Of the fathers of begotten, ere the worlds began to be, he is Alpha and Omega. He the source, the end.
And now hear a reading from the Gospel according to John chapter 1, verses 1 through 14. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came into being through him, and without him not one thing came into being. What has come into being in him was life, and the life was the light of all people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came to witness, to testify to the light, so that all might believe through him. He himself was not the light, but he came to testify to the light. The true light which enlightens everyone was coming into the world. He was in the world, and the world came into being through him, yet the world did not know him. He came to what was his own, and his own people did not accept him. But to all who received him, who believed in his name, he gave power to become children of God, who were born not of blood or of the will of the flesh or the will of man, but of God. And the Word became flesh and lived among us, and we have seen his glory, the glory as of a Father's only Son, full of grace and truth. This is the word of the Lord. Thanks be to God. Good morning. Just a few moments ago, you heard the words that are known as the prologue to John's Gospel. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. For a few minutes this morning, I'd like to think about words. The first three words that you just heard, in the beginning, are also the first three words of our book, found in the creation story in Genesis 1, in the beginning. And I find it no coincidence that those words are also the beginning of this story of salvation and hope found in the birth of Jesus. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. We've used a lot of words together over this Christmas season. We have talked about Advent and our time of waiting and longing and preparation. We've talked about hope and peace and joy and love. So on this morning, I would like you to think about the words that come to your mind in this moment. Maybe the word is stillness, because maybe where you are, it is quiet and still. Maybe the word is chaos, because you are surrounded by the energy of small children who have been gifted with wonderful things on this Christmas morning. Maybe the word is sadness or grief, because you deep in your heart are missing someone so very much loved, particularly on this day. Maybe your word is hope, and you hope that the year that is soon to be upon us will be better than the year that is quickly passing. But we hear from John's Gospel that the Word is God. And the Word on this Christmas day is Emmanuel, God with us, God made flesh. And for one reason only. And that is found in John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave us his only Son. I'd like to read to you a piece entitled Advent Word, written by Roddy Hamilton. And when you get to the end of it, there's a word that I want you to hold on to. It is ancient, as old as the first word, for it is the first word ever spoken by God, who was feeling the divine voice for the first time. Its sound has taken many forms through the ages, but it speaks still, the single truth it always has. Some hear it beating swords into plowshares. Others hear it hammering spears into pruning hooks, and still others hear the original word that shaped these others. The first word, the word, and the word is love. That is my wish for you today, that wherever you are, whatever words come to your mind, the word that will rise to the surface is love, and that you will know that you are loved by God. Merry Christmas to all of you, and I will see you in the new year. Peace and love to you all.
Word among all word, dwell among us. Very God of very God, live in our world for a while. Vulnerable child, be our God in human flesh. Holy babe of Bethlehem, cry our tears with us. Eternity captured in human time, reveal your glory to the nations. Word made flesh, live, breathe, walk among us. Amen.
Infant holy, infant lowly, for his bed a cattle stall. Oxen lowing, little knowing, Christ the babe is Lord of all. Swift are winging, angels singing, Noel's ringing, tidings bringing, Christ the babe is Lord of all. Christ the babe is Lord of all. Flocks were sleeping, shepherds keeping vigil till the morning new. Saw the glory, heard the story, tidings of the gospel true. Thus rejoicing, free from sorrow, praises voicing, greet the morrow. Christ the babe was born for you. Christ the babe was born for you.
And now, may the joy of the angels sing in our voices. May the hope of the shepherds enliven our minds. May the strong faith of Mary strengthen our spirits. And may the love of the Christ child penetrate our hearts. God's blessings upon you this day, and Merry Christmas. Amen.